the return of main 5 LPS and their quality. Let's talk about it. Hello everybody, it is I, LpsHoney. Welcome to a new video. Quick disclaimer before we get into today's topic. I recently did a video opening the new Wave 3 pet pairs, and in that video I review one of the new G7 Cocker Spaniels and the new G7 Collie. If you want to hear about the quality of these two pets specifically, as well as my own personal review, I highly recommend you check out that video, because in this video we're going to be covering the Dachshund and Shorthair cat mold. And the specific pack we're going to be opening today to talk and review about these new pets is the Grooming Spa Play Pack. This is a brand new Wave 3 play pack that contains 3 LpsHops as well as an array of accessories. I showed this pack pretty briefly in my Wave 3 reveal video, and I said that I was super excited about these pets, which, don't get me wrong, I still am. However, I am a bit cautious about them after watching LPS Cobalt's video. I took this screenshot of his video, and seeing the color difference between the Dachshund's body and head got me really worried about mine, so we're gonna open it today and see what my Dachshund's quality is like. Very quickly, I wanted to point out how cute the inside sleeve is for the set. I'm definitely going to be reusing it in videos. Also inside is the Wave 3 pamphlet, a Roblox code, and I just found out recently through the LPS Roblox game Discord that you can now redeem these codes directly in the Roblox game rather than through the website, which makes it so much easier, so I'm so glad they made that change. And also our collector's card. I got the Pomeranian, which I'm a little sad about because I really wanted to get one of the new main 5s, but he's still cute either way. So let's talk included accessories real quick. So this set comes with 5 small accessories, all spa/bathroom themed, and 1 medium accessory being this bathtub shower combo. If you ask me, I think these accessories in this pack in general is a reference to the spa in the Roblox game, which I personally think is such a wasted potential of a building. It's really cute, you can go inside, do all the little spa activities, but you don't earn any coins or really anything from doing it. There's no real purpose to go in there. I think they should turn it into a mini game or something, because it's so cute, but it's just so like underused. But back to the small accessories, I think they're all really cute. Not sure about the duck. He definitely looks like, you know, something's going on in his life. My favorite small accessory is definitely the toothbrush. Like, come on now, it's shaped like a little paw. Or it might even be like a scrubbing brush, I'm not sure, but either way, like, it's just adorable. I also really like the bath. They went with neutral colors and made the bottom of the, like, legs little paws. And it's made out of a flexible material, so I don't see it breaking anytime soon. Also, there's no hole at the bottom, so you can actually fill it with water. The paw legs, by the way, like, that's just such a cute feature. But the main event, the pets. Okay, let's talk about them. So let's start off with our short-haired cat. So coming into these Wave 3 short-haired cats, I saw a lot of people saying that they took away the short-haired cat's chubby cheeks, which does kind of seem to be something they're missing. They got my girl on the Ozempic, like, oh my god. But for real, the head mold definitely is different. I don't see the biggest issue with it. Like, I'm looking at the head as it is, and I don't think it's bad. It's definitely different, but it's not bad for me personally. However, the issue I seem to have with this is its neck, because if I let go and just leave it as it is, you can see the neck joint. Like, why is the head sitting so high up and like detached from the body? If we compare it to our classic little Siamese G2 cat here, which was definitely the inspiration for this new G7 design, I think you can see what I'm talking about. This G2 pet's neck goes a lot further into the head, and its neck ridge is just a lot deeper, whereas this new G7 design is very flat, making the head stick up a lot more. Ignore the blue, I literally have no idea what's going on inside this one's neck, but you can see how deep the actual head peg is compared to this new one, which is like completely flat. it just makes the head stick up so much more than it should, at least in my opinion, and it kind of reminds me of a broken neck peg from a G2 pet, which I find annoying. Like, I wish I could just pop its head down just a little. Even me just pushing it down a little bit like this looks so much better, but the fact that it's like permanently raised up is really annoying. So besides the issue I have with this one's neck and head joint, let's talk about the overall design, which I personally do really like. Like I said, I've seen people say that they don't like the new face mold, but they remind me so much of Popcat, and I just think it's really cute. But again, that's just me, so I like it. I think the eyes on this one are really well done and gorgeous. They also did the gradient really well, at least on my one. If you saw my Pet Pairs unboxing, you'll know that the gradient on the collie was quite lackluster, but this one looks really good. And that gradient extends to the paws and the tail at the back. So overall, very nicely done. I also saw a lot of people saying that these Wave 3 pets look more glossy, which I do agree with. Like, you can kind of see the shine on this pet's face. With this one in particular, it doesn't bother me that much, but some of the other pets really do shine in the sun. Like this Cocker Spaniel from my Pet Pairs video, you can see how shiny this one's paint is. But this short hair is honestly not too bad. Also, my one doesn't really have a squishy head. I'm pushing quite hard and there's a little squish, but nothing major. And of course, here it is once again next to our G2 Siamese, which is an OG LPS because it's got the red magnet and everything, and it just kind of looks like a modern version, honestly. I do prefer the eyes of the G7 pet, but the neck joint really does bug me. The head is also quite a bit thinner and smaller, and you can really see it from the side on angle. So hopefully moving forward they can make the heads a bit larger and rounder to represent the G2 short hair cat mold. You can also definitely tell from behind the head size difference, it's just a lot smaller. I think overall for my first G7 short hair, I do like it. I wish that the head was bigger and it didn't have the neck issue, but I do really like the painting and gradient they achieved with this one, and I hope that they can sort out the head and neck moving forward, because if they don't, then girl, we need to have a talk. But let's move on to our dachshund, dachshund, Wiener dog, whatever you want to call it. And this one also has the freaking head problem, and it seems to only be an issue with the short-haired cat and dachshund. My Cocker Spaniel and Collie from G7 don't have this issue of the neck and head joint, but for some reason these two do, and it's like, why? If I point him head on, like, you can tell this boy's got a long neck, and that's because just like the short-haired cat, it's flat underneath. You can't really push it down. Once again, G2 quickly here for a neck comparison, and look how much shorter the G2 dachshund is. Like, you can tell something ain't right with the neck joint. Also, just looking at them side by side, it looks like the dachshund also has a smaller head, just like the short-haired cat. But taking a look at him by himself, this one's gradient isn't as good. It looks very solid and then has this very wispy gradient around the edges. They did it really well on the paws, the gradient, but on the face it's a bit like, eh. Just like the short-haired cat, I think they nailed the eyes. They're really pretty. I haven't really had any problems with any of the eyes in Wave 3. I think they're really nailing the eyes in general this time around. On camera, the head and body do seem like they color match pretty well, but in person, the head is definitely a slightly lighter shade than the body. It's definitely not as noticeable as LPS Cobalt's one. Like, he really got a bad one, but it's definitely not matching. So it's a bit disappointing because Basic Fun just figured out how to match white heads and bodies, and now they're messing up the brown heads and bodies. Like, girl, pick a color. Like, don't get me wrong, they still match okay, but it's definitely not the exact same color. I feel sorry for Cobalt though. His color match was crazy. But let's compare our dachshund to an original G2 dachshund, and I think it's pretty obvious that they took inspiration from this design here. My G2 dachshund is a little old, so some of the freckles on the mouth have rubbed off, but the original design is meant to have more freckles like the G7 design. I think you can tell straight away, just like the short-haired cat, the neck definitely sits a bit higher on the new G7 pet, so you can actually see the little neck joint sticking out, and the head is also smaller in general. I've seen people say that they thought the little bump at the top here was removed. It definitely is still there, but because the head is smaller, it's just a little less noticeable, I think. Looking at them side on, it doesn't look like the head's much skinnier on the new one, which is nice, but the dachshund didn't really have a thick head to begin with. Even though the head is different, I do think it's less egregious than the short-haired cat. And once again, you can see the little neck joint issue I was talking about poking out. Am I happy with this pet though? I'm gonna say yes. Like, I do like the design. I love the eyes. I can put up with like the head being a tiny bit smaller and the paint being a bit shiny, but the neck joint really does bug me. I don't know, it just feels a little cheaper to me that you can see the neck joint. I don't know if that makes sense. I think if I could make any changes to the short-haired cat and this dachshund, I would definitely make both their heads a little bit bigger and fix the neck issue. Just make the hole in the head a bit deeper so the neck can fit in better, and I think that would solve pretty much every problem I have with them. Before I forget, the head squishiness, this guy is pretty solid. Like, I'm not getting a lot of squish from him, which is definitely good to see. For the first main 5 pets they have made in literal years, I am happy with them. There's definitely improvements to be made, do not get me wrong, but I'll live. Like, for now, I will live. But of course, let's also talk about our final pet in this pack, which is not a main 5, but is still a pet that I personally absolutely love, and that is the Pomeranian mold. This isn't the first Pomeranian we've seen in G7, but I personally do think it's the best looking one. I love that they put little hearts in its ears, and just like the short-haired cat, the gradient on this one's face is really well done. Basic Fun really likes doing gradient recently, and my only gripe with it is sometimes, like this Pomeranian, it looks great, but other times it's a real miss. So I feel like they really need to hone in their gradient skills, because if they're gonna keep doing it, they need to make it consistent. But back to our Pomeranian, I think he looks absolutely adorable. I am loving the colors, loving the design. I have nothing bad to say about this little guy. Actually, I do have one thing. The eye on my one is slightly misprinted, the white part, so it's kind of like elongated on one side. Nothing super major, and I can honestly patch that up myself with a bit of acrylic paint, but you know, still wanted to point it out to you guys. Pomeranian heads have always been super thin, so he is a little more squishy because there's literally nothing in this man's brain. But honestly, design-wise, I think he's perfect. I love this pet, and I'm so glad that they made another Pomeranian for the spa set. So there's our spa pack and our first G7 short-haired cat and dachshund. What do we think, guys? I overall am happy with the set. I'm of course super excited to see the return of the short-haired cat and dachshund, and I do love the Pomeranians. There are some issues though that they definitely need to sort out. That neck joint really needs to be fixed because they just look a bit cheaper. And I would love it if they made the heads bigger on the short-haired cats and dachshunds just to match the older designs more. But overall, I do think it's a pretty solid pack and I am happy with them. Like I said, I like the accessories, and overall, I am pleased with the ones I got. Obviously, some people's printing is going to be different to others. Like I said, Cobalt was a bit unlucky and his dachshund color matching was a lot worse than mine. So it's still a bit of hit and miss when it comes to the quality of the pets you can get in store. But hopefully moving forward they can kind of make a broad across the board improvement. Because I think we can all agree, walking into a store, we just want to find a good printed pet. We don't want to hunt through 50 packets. But like I said, let me know what you guys think, because I'm very interested to see if the issues I think these pets have you guys agree with, or you're completely fine with it, like you don't see an issue with the neck pegs. I just really want to know. So let me know in the comments down below. I also wanted to mention, I don't think these pets are currently available for sale yet. At least that I know of. If you know where you can buy these pets, feel free to share it in the comments down below, because as of right now, I don't believe there's any online or physical stores that are carrying it. But of course, we're literally in the beginning of January. I'm sure it won't be long till this specific pack hits shelves. Hi! I also wanted to mention, I'm thinking of making a video letting you guys know all the current locations that are selling Wave 3 pets, because They've been kind of hard to find, and I know it is the start of the year, so stuff is still coming in and getting stocked, so it's definitely been hard, but I think in the next coming month especially it should be a lot easier. But let me know if you guys would like to see that video, like me letting you know what stores you can get Wave 3 pets in right now. I really hope you guys enjoyed seeing my unboxing of the new spa play pack and my kind of first reaction to the new short hair cat and dachshund mold. Like I said, let me know what you think, and if you enjoyed this video, like always, please do not forget to like, comment, and of course subscribe, and I will see you next time with a brand new video. Until then, bye guys!